Hey guys, this is Miss Galicia, and I am working on some notes for you guys for week 5. Some of you might already have week 5, but I thought these notes might be helpful. So first I want to start off with assignment number 1. It's over prime factorization. First of all, you need to know what prime numbers are. Prime numbers are numbers that you can't find anything that multiplies to equal that number. So for example, you have 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. I will say the number 10 is not prime because you can divide 10 can be 2 times 5, and so therefore it's not prime. If you take 2, there are no 2 numbers other than 2 and 1 that give you 2. And 10 can be 2 times 5, it can be 10 times 1, and so forth. So though 10 is not prime, so you for sure need to know your prime numbers in order to know what prime factorization is. All right, so there are 2 ways to get the prime factorization of a number. I'm going to do an easy number first. So let's say that I give you the number, I don't know, 20. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to do the tree method. So I'm going to take the number 20 and I'm going to think of any 2 numbers that multiply to give you 20. So for example, we have the numbers 2 and we have the number 10. 2 times 10 is 20. You could have done 5 and 4. It doesn't matter which 2 numbers you pick as long as they multiply to give you 20. 2 happens to be on my prime list. I gave you a list of prime numbers in your notes. So I'm going to circle 2 because I can't break down 2 any further. But 10 does break down further. 10 can be broken down into 2 times 5. So I'm going to circle this 2 again because 2 is prime. I can't break that down any further other than 2 and 1. And I'm going to circle 5 also because 5 cannot be broken down any further. So the number 20 breaks down into 2 times 2 times 5. Oops. So 20 would be 2 times 2 times 5. And if you were to actually multiply those, 2 times 2 is 4 times 5 is 20. So that does give you 20. Or you could also do that as 2 to the second because we have 2 2's. So we could also, I'm going to go to the side, 2 to the second times 5, which also happens to give you 20. So on the assignment where once the prime factorization, you could either give me 2 times 2 times 5 equals 20, or you can give me the 2 to the square times 5 equals 20. So what it does is it breaks down 20 only into prime numbers. All right, so that's the first method. There is another method. The other method is the upside down birthday cake. So it's still the same concept. I'm still going to do the number 20. So I'm going to put the number 20 in a layer. So I'm going to do 20. Okay, right. 20. And then I'm going to make the layer of a cake. So we're making an upside down birthday cake. Out here on the outside, we can only put prime numbers. So think of a prime number that can go into 20. Well, the first prime number that comes into my mind is the number 2.
This is my homework.
Okay, Mommy, no. So 20 divided by 2 gives me 10. So that's going to go on my next layer. So then I'm going to think of another prime number that can go into 10. We have 2 or we have 5. So I'm going to do, I don't know, I'm just going to do 5. Okay, so 10 divided by 5 gives me 2. So then I'm going to think of a prime number that can go into 2. Well, of course, 2 is prime, so 2 can go into 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. I know that I am done when I get to 1, and I make 1 look like a candle. So if you look at this, it looks like an upside down birthday cake. So that's why we call it the birthday cake method. So my prime factorization of 20 are these numbers that are on the outside. So I have 2 2's. So I'm going to write 2 to the second, and I have 5. If you notice, it's the same exact answer we got a while ago. Or I could write it as 2 times 2 times 5. 2 times 2, let's check. 2 times 2 is 4 times 5 is 20. And notice that in our answer, we are only using prime numbers, okay? So the key concept here is prime numbers. I gave you a chart in your notes. It will be beneficial if you go through and highlight all the prime numbers. I even wrote those out for you. So just highlight your prime numbers. If you end up using a number that's not prime, then you're not done, okay? And I